I am alone again. This was not the plan. In fact, the plan was to spend the majority of this week in the wilderness. But if there is one thing I know that is for certain, it's that plans are really just loose guidelines that are there to create the illusion of control and direction. Maybe even to ward off that fear of the unknown. But life, more often than not, has its own plans. So Chris and Kobuk were needed elsewhere for now, which means it's just Akila, myself, and Togo in these beautiful mountains. I'm working on a batch of homegrown sprouts right now, and they are looking so good. This is day 3, I think. So in about 2 more days, these guys are gonna be fluffy and ready to eat. Hi, Akila, you wanna come up? The only little extra tricky thing about sprouts in a van is that my water needs to be filtered, otherwise it can grow mold and you don't want to get sick off of sprouts. So I use my platypus, my Gravity Works water filtration system that I use in the backcountry. I just filter my water through that and it works great. So time to rinse my sprouts. I have always loved being alone. This is actually a big reason why I decided to build Akila and I, our little cabin on wheels. I had realized that I felt the most connection and fulfillment being by myself in nature, and so I wanted a life that reflected that. But even so, there are adjustments that happen when people drive away and you are truly alone once again. Like my heightened awareness, and this I'm used to. I take note of every truck that drives by. I clear off my front seat in case I need to drive away quickly, and when I'm alone, I typically tuck Akila in and lock up right when the sun sets. But this night was a bit different. I refused to miss the supermoon, the August blue moon.
This world of ticking clocks, I hope I'm getting through. So close your eyes. Do you feel the same?
I know that the lighting is bad, but A truck with 2 men just pulled into my camp. This is very much like a single camp. Men just pulled into my camp and they're setting up less than 15 yards from me. I hate that I even have to worry about my safety. But 2 men in my camp doesn't feel good. I've been watching them through my binoculars. I'm just glad Akila hasn't noticed them because she would be really very upset about it. But one option is just to leave. But then I'd have to come back tomorrow morning to pick up all my stuff that's outside, like the Starlink and the Blue Eddy and my solar panel. The van is all locked up. I'm going to double lock right now. I'm actually going to do that. I have like double locks on my doors. So I can lock my like front 2 doors from the inside as well. So I just double locked those. Alright, I'm gonna keep peering at them through my binoculars. Meet my new neighbors. Akila is a little nervous, so she's just gonna stay in there. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be out here for this weekend and not move because I knew it was gonna be crazy everywhere. So I know there have been trucks up and down this already, people looking for spaces to camp, so I know everything's full here. So my only option would be to go back into Salt Lake, which I don't want to do. That's okay. I'm perfectly fine. I'm like perfectly fine. I feel good. I'll be all right. I know, I will. All right, sounds good. Love you. Bye. I have my slippers on, my puffy vest. My elbows are cold because of my Okay, I'm gonna make coffee. Look at my sprouts today. They're almost ready. There is a hunting block, like a archery block. So I wonder if they like went out this morning. You know what would be really nice right now? My little wood stove. But I think it's still a bit too early to put the wood stove back in. It's 9 o'clock. There's no way that they can still be sleeping. They had to have gone out this morning. Should we get to work? I'm currently working on editing the gear video. If you haven't watched it, I will link it above. But I've been receiving so many questions about my favorite gear and what I use and why. Yeah, so I did a whole video breaking down every piece of gear. Almost every piece of gear, and it's a lot of information. So, it's a Canon EOS R. I used to have an RP, and I really loved that camera. It's raining. I need to go grab my stuff out. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Woo! Brr! Oh my gosh, what a cozy day. I know. It is really cold. It is really rainy. I am basically covered in fog. It's really beautiful. It's very neat. And the longer that I've been here with these guys, I haven't seen them. So I'm like feeling a lot safer, a little bit more settled in. I'm pretty sure that they're hunters and that they went out either really early this morning or maybe they packed up and hiked in last night, which is really unfortunate in this weather. I hope they brought shelter. I actually did go over there about a half hour ago and knock on their window. I figured if they were just hunkered down in their little truck, they were probably cold, so I was gonna offer them some tea or coffee, but they're not in there, so I'm pretty sure they're out hunting in this. Speaking frankly, situations like this are a little bit more heightened for women. The feeling of like I could be in danger, the feeling of helplessness, not knowing when is the right time to approach somebody or speak up. It would have been really kind of them, even just last night, because my lights were on when they pulled in late, just to be like, hey, we're going out hunting in the morning, do you mind if we park our truck here? It would have been no issue, but not knowing context at all, not knowing if they were one of the trucks that had gone by and seen me outside, like there's just a lot of emotion that comes up and to work through being solo out here, and that's all part of it. There's no complaint around that. That's what solo travel is. And anyway, so I got to the point where I'm like, you know what? They're probably just hunters out here wanting to do their thing. I'm gonna go offer them tea or a hot drink. And they're obviously out, so. I'm cooking some lunch. That's also my way of warming up. With my stove on, things get a little warmer in here. I think Akila is really appreciating this cozy day. She's just cuddled in, sleepy. One of the main questions that I get asked is, aren't you scared out there? And the truth is, yeah, I do get scared. I think it would be silly not to. But I also like to think that there is a difference between healthy fear and unhealthy fear. In my eyes, healthy fear keeps me prepared, aware, and it encourages me to listen to my intuition. Where unhealthy fear is the kind that keeps me frozen and unwilling to step into things that may just be uncomfortable or foreign in that moment. And to be honest, the thing I am most fearful of is looking back at my life and realizing that I didn't live it as fully as I had wanted to. That I didn't take on experiences because of fear. So I do things scared, because I refuse to let that unhealthy fear be the main driver of my life. They're back. I'm gonna see if they want something warm to drink. I don't know what kind of beer you guys have, but do you want anything warm to drink? Coffee or tea or anything?
Well, appreciate the offer. Are you here just by yourself and your dog?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Where are you from?
Grew up in Wisconsin, but now I'm just on the road full time.
Nice.
Yeah. I think we're good. I think that I will never not be very protective of myself and Akila and our space and our safety. And I do always make sure to leave room for curiosity when it comes to people. Not too much room, but enough to assess the situation and make decisions from there. I know a lot of people are really scared about being solo, and while I always take certain precautions for worst case scenarios, I also tend to understand that more people have good in them, and I always do want to leave space for those. So yeah, I cannot believe how cold it is. I am going to make an afternoon cup of coffee, which I typically don't do, but I'm doing it today because it sounds cozy and it will be cozy. And then I actually have a really important call in 2 hours, And this call has to do with 2 really neat film projects coming up in like November or winter time. And yeah, just swirls of excitement and a little bit of anxiety in a good way. And also gratitude that I get to share it with a community like you guys who are so supportive and loving, and yeah. It is such a beautiful morning, but wow, is it cold. Akila and I slept in, and she hasn't even left the bed yet. I haven't been able to make the bed because she hasn't left the bed yet, you funny girl. You sleepy girl. You're so sleepy. What are you doing? Now she's gonna get off the bed. Can I make the bed? Even though we have been loving this weather and how cozy it is and cold and feels like fall, my solar is really struggling. Not my van solar, but my Bluetti. Chris left me with the Starlink, which has been great because then I can still contact people, because otherwise I don't really have service up here. But this is where my Bluetti's at. I'm at 2%. I'm bringing in 8 watts. I'm gonna have to turn this off soon so I can charge my computer just a little bit. But if I cannot charge my computer, I cannot edit, so I might go hike that mountain instead. I don't know yet though. I just need the sun to peek out a little bit. Cool part though, but not bringing in many watts when it's cold, is my appliances don't really have to work other than my lights. So it's not like my fridge and my freezer are like taking a lot of energy, because this temperature is probably the temperature of my fridge, so it doesn't have to work at all. Lovely. Yeah, you back in bed, girl? What are you doing? The hunters that came into camp yesterday, they left because they got very wet while they were hunting, and while they brought enough clothes, they did not bring a change of boots. So being cold, and especially cold, wet, with wet feet, miserable. I found this, but I don't know where the cap is. Oh, we found it! That's good. Okay. Sit. Do you want to go for a hike? Okay. The truth is, the last thing I want to do is go on an 8-mile hike. I want to lay in bed and be warm. But I know that that will not make me feel good. And the moment I start moving, I'll warm up and be very, very content. All right, let's go. Akila is on cloud 9. I walked down the road a little bit. The hope is to intercept the trail instead of hiking all the way back to the trailhead. But this is a lot steeper than I thought it was. I actually am not really sure that I think I can do this. Good girl. We're almost there. Not sure, but I think a lot of this is wild carrot. And she just pissed off those cows, so I'm gonna go this way. Nope, this way. We found the trail. That was so hard. And I'm soaking wet now, but that's okay. We're good. I've already got a layer off and I'm very warmed up. Now we have another hill to climb. Let's go, cows, come on. How cool is this? We are walking in a cloud. This is so much harder than I anticipated. I think I'm almost 4 miles in. Still haven't reached the peak. This is steep. We're almost there, I think. This path is the last ridge, I think, and then one last climb. She's doing so good. She's a little mountain goat. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you. Can I look at your feet quick? Yeah. What if? Right down. Oh, good girl. That feels so good. This is definitely beautiful and epic and eerie, but the visibility is really bad. I'm not going to finish the summit. I am less than half a mile from the peak, but it's getting late in the day and the visibility is poor. I am nervous about Aquila on this trail. She can be a little clumsy, and Aquila on like loose rock, edges of mountains, not always a calming feeling for me. So we did a lot of this ridge and she did amazing. She's very tired. Aquila's also been turning around a lot, and that tells me that she's done. She doesn't want to continue anymore. I'm not gonna push her. I don't have to summit this peak. It means nothing to me. This is a very healthy fear that encourages me to reevaluate. And Aquila always comes first. She's tired. She just drank the last bit of her water. I'll save the rest of my water for her for the 4 miles back. I know that Aquila is capable of doing it, but right now, with the visibility as poor as it is, with me not even being able to see what's coming up on the trail, it's just not worth it. We still got an amazing hike in, some of the coolest views ever with these clouds, hiking in the clouds. I mean, this is so cool. I feel like I'm in Lord of the Rings. And yeah, get to enjoy my hot coffee. It's beautiful. What more could you ask for?
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. There you go. How's that?
this light. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dirty. Man, the lighting, can't get it right. Whatever. I crack myself up. You know what I mean? We're hilarious. That's the cleanest my lens has been in a long time. Oh my god.
Hi. Hi. I know. I was taking some video. You want your little tongue in it?
I actually am pretty sure it's illegal to use bear spray on humans, but does that mean I wouldn't do it? No. I think I could outrun both of them anyway, so.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.